The world is a global village.
And that's because information travels beyond boundaries.
And on this morning on ITV,
we guarantee unbiased analysis on topical issues
that will educate you,
entertain you.
So join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Join us.
Every Sunday to Thursday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on your ultimate news and current affairs program on television. This morning on ITV TMR. Join us.
All right, thank you so much. And we have Mr. Ajibola Abayomi here with us. He's a migration journalist, if you like. And of course, he's the president of the International Forum for Migration here in Nigeria. So you're welcome to the program this morning on ITV.
Mr. Moderator.
Yeah, yesterday we'll just follow from where the Oba of Benin, Omonobane Doko Apolopolo, had to meet with the U.S. Consular General and, supporting the fight against human trafficking in Edo State and also in Nigeria. Because the issue of, unlawful migration, illegal migration in this part of the country has become a very big problem for the state government. And you have programs, policies put together to make sure that the government just try to end this, but people still have their ways, and they also fight back the government. But let's talk about, illegal migration now. So, what do you think are the issues?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Moderator. First of all, migration is a global phenomenon. Like we used to cancel people whenever we have opportunity like this. Migration is not a crime. It's as old as man.
Okay.
But what we have nowadays, particularly in the third world country, can be regarded as a failure of governance, failure of institution of government. And when you now see people migrating for one reason or the other, either for economic reasons, either for safety, owing to internal conflict, war, and all that, you begin to look at, okay, what are the causes, what are the symptoms? But most of what we have now, tagged as irregular migration, is a direct protest to failure of governance, particularly in Africa. For instance, for crying out loud, why would youth, able youth of a country, would take pleasure in going to another country just to make ends meet? It shows that there are limited opportunities. So for us, at Journalists International Forum for Migration, what we are set to do is to ensure that we join advocacy with the efforts of government, other institutions, opinion leaders, to ensure that we sensitize Nigerians about the evils involved. In migration, we talk about trafficking, child labor, women trafficking, and all that. You have a situation whereby a lot of people are misled to believe that when you go to Europe, it's as rosy as heaven. But when you get there, it's another thing.
Okay. All right. Now, for the sake of emphasis, you just said something, and I had to pull you back. I mean, as journalists, you also really like to get things correctly. Now, you said irregular migration.
Yeah, that's the word.
And I said illegal migration. Is there any difference?
There's difference.
Okay.
Like I said, migration is not a crime. An average human being is a migrant.
All right. So we can't say illegal migration.
It's irregular.
Irregular
migration.
All right.
But like I said, because of the nature of governance, particularly in the third world country, you have people who have no option than to go to where they can make ends meet. For instance, there are people doing well in Nigeria and they prefer to be a cleaner in Italy, in Spain, in Luxembourg, and all that. And when you look at, in terms of earning, the exchange, where they may say they are better for it, but come to think of it, it is an indirect way of enslaving us, particularly Africans here. What do I mean? Take your mind back to the 70s, when we don't have influx of Nigerians going into other countries. How was the economy then?
It was better.
Very buoyant. It shows that greater percentage of Nigerian first 11, they are abroad. That is why the economy is like this. That is why we have not been able to get things right. But for people like us, we are not ready to keep blaming government that, oh, successive government or what have you. Rather, we are joining hands with those working to ensure that it does not continue. And let me quickly drop this point here. We must commend the governor of Edo State, Governor Obaseki, for what he's doing, particularly in the area of advocacy against irregular migration. We have seen a governor now who met a challenge on the ground through a lot of interventions. We have people being rehabilitated, the returnees, and you also have the dire step taken by, he is the first governor in Nigeria to set up a task force against human trafficking in Nigeria. I just hope that other states will replicate very fast. Then he has domesticated the law against human trafficking in Nigeria. Then you also have him working with other organizations like International Organization for Migration in Nigeria, the National Agency for Against Prohibition of Persons in Traffic. These are very laudable objectives. And again, Nigerians are beginning to see now that far from what we believe or what we are made to believe, that you can find majority of these people into this irregular migration in Edo State is a lie. Check the statistics from the latest returnees from xenophobic attack
from South Africa.
Ogun State is number 1, followed by Imo, followed by Oyo. So it shows that it is a general phenomenon in Nigeria. But the way to go about it is that we must try to create opportunity, particularly for the youth, and make the economy buoyant. How do we do that? We must stop bad governance.
Okay. Now, there seems to be an aspect of this whole irregular migration thing that we seem not to be looking at. Now, I've lived almost all my life in Benin City here, so I understand the average psyche of we the Beninese. Now, it's almost a status thing in this part of the country that if you have a child abroad, then it probably means that your family is just there. And it looks as if that the government is not also looking at it in this direction, that for us to begin to disabuse the minds of people, you know, from going abroad, they have to address that, because they just see it as a status thing. I mean, you are an immigration journalist. How do we look at this?
Yes, like I said, the bottom line, or what I can call the missing link in all of this, is bad governance, economic instability, particularly in Africa. Why is it that Nigerians do well when they get renewed, irrespective of their status, either as refugee, either as call it internally displaced person? Even as bad as Somalia economy is, Nigerians are there doing well. Look at South Africa. They even protested against Nigerians because Nigerians decided effectively that we are taking over the economy. I checked the statistics of Nigerians in South Africa. According to United Nations, it's about 24,700 plus or so. So where I'm going to is this. If our economy is good, the reality is that Nigerians are hardworking people. They are ready to work. They are not lazy people. Give Nigerians opportunity anywhere in the world, they are ready to take it. So it is for us to come back home and do the needful. And as an extension to that, because of our own engagement at GFOM level, that's Journalists International Forum for Migration, we have set out by November this year to have an international conference on migration. Because our members are spread across the globe. We are not just in Nigeria, we are spread across the Africa's countries, the Europe, the America, the Asia, what have you. We have been relating, we have been meeting. Our own contribution goes beyond coming to a conference and having a talk show. We are going to present a position paper to government. It is high time, and that is why we must commend the present leadership in the country, President of Muhammadu Buhari, irrespective of the challenge. We now have Office of Nigeria and Diaspora Commission. That's a starting point.
Yeah.
We must have a policy on migration in Nigeria. Particularly, again, the way we open down our borders, the way Nigerians accept other nationals. Are we accepted like that in other countries? Even it's as bad when you travel across the gate, you have been to before. Last year, I was in Germany, I was in Luxembourg, I was in Spain, I was in France. I saw the tenacity in Nigerians to work, to deliver, to want to earn a living, irrespective of their status. And that's why I will continue to roll back this and continue to discuss around that. We must come back home and make opportunity available to our people. You can imagine yourself seated there. If you are not opportune to be where you are today, probably you'll be a disservice doing one thing or the other. That is why we must show patriotism towards building this economy.
Okay. Now, before we talk about your program, you said the program is going to be in November.
November.
All right. Now, you mentioned the National Commission for Nigerians in Diaspora, as headed by Abike Dabu-Erewa. Now, for some people, that commission, it's probably not living up to expectation. If not for this xenophobic attack, a lot of people did not really know that we have such a commission. Now, what do you think should be the responsibility of such a commission? I mean, we've heard of stories of how Nigerians are being killed abroad for allegation of drugs and all that. And this commission at times seems not to be doing anything.
Like I said, my dear colleague, this is a new commission, whether we like it or not. This commission is not up to 5 years old. And don't forget, let me just take the negative aspect of it. For instance, you mentioned issues of xenophobic attack in South Africa. We were all concerned. And that is where we even got to know that there is need for us to have migration policy in Nigeria. How are Nigerians being treated abroad? Where are the agencies of government beyond the embassies that takes care of this? Like I said, I cannot sit here and put brief for the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. I want to give it to them. Don't forget that this is an agency. As I speak with you, I've been to office in Abuja, to the office in Abuja. We're working with them. They practically did not even have an office as far as I'm concerned. So it goes to show that there is need for government to be serious about it. But again, when you talk about what should be the role of Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, we don't have to look at it, like I said, from the angle of negativity alone. Nigerians are doing well abroad. Nigerians have investment abroad. A lot of dollars are involved. How do we ensure that our local economy benefits from this? In one way, that should be part of their responsibility. And how do we ensure that we have a seamless treaty with all these nations to ensure that our nationals, our citizens, are simply guaranteed where they are anywhere in the world? Look at the quantum of resources Nigeria invested to build South Africa. And look at what they are repaying us with today. Here is a South Africa that was down with apartheid. Billions of Nigerians' oil money was invested. If we are talking of African Union, like we did issue a statement, we said, this is a threat to African unity. If we are indeed talking about unity of Africa, and again, you have black attacking black in South Africa, what then is the moral justification for a black man to protest racism in Europe? So it goes to show that we must see ourselves as one. But again, I am a Nigerian because I know Nigerians are hardworking people. Like I said, give Nigerians an inch, they take a yard. Okay.
Now, back to your program that is going to be sometime in November. Where is going to be the venue?
Yeah. We intend to hold the event at International Conference Center in Abuja.
Okay.
As I speak with you, part of consultation is what brought me to Edo State to talk with some of the stakeholders. We have reached out to the presidency, the National Assembly, the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, the Nigerian Immigration Service, the National Agency for Prohibition of
Human Trafficking, NAPTIP.
The International Organization for Migration, they are aware of what we are doing, and several others.
What about our traditional institution? I mean, yeah.
That's why I come into it. It goes beyond relating with people at that level. Yeah. Like I said, we are going to present a position paper to government. And for us to get to that level, there are layers of opinion leaders in the society. The traditional institution, the religious leaders, the academics, and those in the private sector, even the media itself.
Yeah.
Now, the Dimension Journalists International Forum is beginning to issues of migration. We now want to have journalists that are solely dedicated to reporting migration beat.
Okay.
Check around the major newspapers and even let them know what have you in Nigerian media. There has not been quality time or space allocated to migration reporting.
Yeah, but not for like our own station here, independent television.
I mean,
like what we are doing now.
Like what we are doing now, it's a big plus.
Yeah.
We want to see more of that, not necessarily because people are involved in traveling,
Okay.
but because it involves lives. It involves human beings. The rate at which Nigerians go through a very difficult path, either through Libya or Algeria, through the Mediterranean Sea. And that's why I say, come back again, the solution is for us to make sure that this economy is better for us. The solution is not for us to start passing bulk. It's for us to see what we can do, to say, now, never again.
Yeah.
It cannot happen.
All right. Now, just before we go, one would have thought that instead of going to start in Abuja, why don't you start in some of these prone areas? Take, for example, I'm not trying to say that Edo State is one of the prone areas anyway. Yeah, but on a more serious note, why don't you start, like you said, in Ogun State? I mean, the xenophobic attack in South Africa. One would have expected you to start in such prone areas.
Fine. The conference is not just a one-off thing. There are build-up.
That's so, okay.
Like I said, for instance, our team is in Edo State now. We wanted to meet with the First Lady of Edo State. You understand? She's out of town. We have been moving around the state. We have been to Ekiti. We have been to Nasarawa. We have been to Abuja. Okay. So the conference is just the showpiece. But then the consultation we have to do
continues. Yeah.
So when you say the starting point, we have started already. Our members have been reporting globally. We have been interfacing. Like I said, the most important thing is to connect with the relevant stakeholders who will be able to encourage Nigerians to believe, first of all, even in this country.
Okay, one more time, the venue, you said it's in Abuja?
Yes,
okay.
at the International Conference Center in Abuja.
That's going to be when?
On 25th of November. To 29th. We even intend to make the Edo State Governor, the chairman of the occasion, and President Muhammad Buhari is going to be in attendance. We are trying to get the buy-in of the Senate and the rep.
So
all other stakeholders.
Who are your expected participants?
It's a global event.
Okay.
There are people coming outside Nigeria. And again, it's an opportunity also to showcase the potentials of Nigeria in the area of tourism.
Okay.
These are some of the things that people, for want of pleasure or for want of wanting to improve themselves, go abroad to attend. Like I told you, I was in Italy in 2018 for similar conferences. When we took the decision to have this conference in Nigeria, perhaps some of our colleagues are saying, let us come over to Germany. We said no. Charity begins
at home. Yeah.
As the president of the Journalists International Forum for Migration, let's have it in Nigeria. And it's also an opportunity for us to debunk one unpalatable statement that came out from the British Embassy.
What is that?
That said, over 2/3 of Nigerian states are not safe. It's not true. It's not true.
Yeah.
Again, we must begin to orientate our youth. If you check what Nigerians are invested in American embassy daily, it's over 100 million.
Okay.
They interview you for less than 3 minutes and your 100,000 naira is gone. You are not going to get the visa. Not because you commit a crime, but because there is nowhere you can be richer than Chinese in China.
Yeah, you may not get the visa if you don't meet their expectations. Let's leave it there because some people get the visas.
Very few. What's the percentage? We are saying as a Nigerian, we are saying as a hardworking people, we are saying as a good people, You should stop the discrimination
Okay.
against us.
All right, thank you so much. Because of time now,
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Really
We've been speaking with Mr. Jibola Abayomi, who's the president for Journalists International Forum for Migration. And his resume is so huge here. He's also the news editor of Daily Independence, former news editor for Daily Independence, and currently the publisher of Leagues magazine. Thank you so much, Mr. Abayomi, for joining us. Well, we'll take a short pause now. Other segment will come your way. Please stay tuned.